but I've been receiving a lot of questions, especially about pot stocks. That's not a surprise. What is going on, crypto peeps? Welcome back to the Traveling Crypto. So a little bit of green in the market today. Obviously, the biggest gainer in the top 20 is XRP. XRP continues to make gains after its announcement that it is set to release the Xrapid platform, the long-awaited Xrapid platform, within a month or two. Still no hard date yet. Now, XRP is one of the coins that we did send out a trade alert for, one of the very few coins, along with a couple others. Cardano being one of them. And, I don't want to give away all the trade alerts, but yeah. So XRP, the reason that we did send out a trade alert for it is because it was set to make an unprecedented move. And the unprecedented move that I'm talking about is basically in 2018, if I look at the day chart, I'll show you this real quick. XRP had failed to make a higher high, right? So it is just a series of lower highs. Let me remove the fib retracement. It is just a series of lower highs, right? So you have a high right here, all the way back around January or December, January. You have a high here, you have a high here. And if you continue this pattern, you will see that not once in 2018 has XRP beat a previous high, matched or beat a previous high. It is just a set of lower highs. Now this is just basically, it's just been bleeding out in all of 2018. However, recently you'll see here, let me just remove this arrow. You'll see here that it is currently beating out its previous high. So when we did send out a trade alert, there was an initial trade alert to, scale in if BTC did break this swing high right here, which was at around 4,700 sats. So you scale in, meaning you don't go all in on your budget. If you were going to spend, $100 in XRP, you wouldn't put all of that 100 at this price point. You would scale in, say maybe a third of your buy-in or a half of your buy-in, depending on your risk profile and your budget, and then wait to see how it reacts. Now, XRP did form a classic pennant right here. This is almost a perfect pole. And it broke out of that pennant. So then you can scale in further once we see a breakout from this. And that is when we sent out another alert on XRP. And it looks like what we're gearing up to do. And you'll see here is the line of that, that descending wedge that we've had all the way since January. But essentially what it looks like XRP is gearing up to do is to flag again or form another pennant here before another rise up. Obviously, our volume continues to remain healthy. If you see, recent volume since September 17th, on the 4-hour chart, we have seen periods of volume breaking the 20-period moving average on the volume, which we haven't done in quite a long time, going all the way back. We had a couple periods in early September, but going all the way back to August, really. Otherwise, XRP stays at or below this 20-period moving average of the volume. Volume is really important and should not be overlooked, guys. If you want access to those trade alerts, link is in the description. Sign up for those. That is the analysis on XRP. Let us look at BTC real quick. So this is BTC on the 1-day chart. You'll see there's actually quite a few patterns forming within the overall descending triangle pattern on XRP, on BTC. You'll see this is a classic head and shoulders. Now, what we do expect to see, obviously, after a head and shoulders, because it is a bearish pattern, is you expect to see a drop from there below the neckline, right? But we really haven't seen that. It's trading sideways at the moment. And I will say BTC is actually held up really well, especially in periods of low volume that we saw last week and through the weekend. That is a really good sign that the market feels like this is the normalized price range for for BTC during the bear market, meaning that this is a sign that we might be at a market bottom. Not the market bottom, right? Trying to catch a falling knife is a futile effort, and you should never try and do that. But being that we spent quite a bit of time in this range, you could say that this is a strong support, right? Now, obviously that support can be broken, but currently 5,800 is the 2018 strong support. And until we break that, I'm not going to make any wild proclamations as to the direction of BTC. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you'll see, let me just remove this head and shoulders from the 1 day. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you'll see that it is sort of trading sideways at the moment, right? Ever since we had that big drop on September 5th, for the last, 15 days or so, it's been trading in this sideways range here. And, it might seem boring, but stability is good during a bear market or during a market crash, right? We're still at around, below 200 bill or just a little above 200 bill in terms of market cap. We keep going back and forth. So yeah, you do want to see this type of stability, but I wouldn't make any drastic moves on BTC until we can see a breakout in either direction and confirm, another market trend. This right here is just a continuation pattern at the moment. Moving on to Nano, this is another one that we did send out a trade alert for a while back, and we continue to send trade alerts for. We did basically throughout all the month of August, from the bottom here in August, mid-August to the end of August. This was around, I think, a 270% jump, if I'm not mistaken. And we did send trade alerts continuously throughout that. Obviously, nobody can tell you that if you buy here, you're going to see a 280% gain. But along the way, there are periods of, retracement and consolidation where there were opportunities for re-entry. So Nano has a habit of forming these descending wedges and then breaking out of them positively. We do see a descending wedge here on Nano forming recently, and we did break out here. Now, if you're a swing trader, you want to trade obviously the breakouts and then scalp profits where you can. If you're a long-term trader, there are certain breakouts that you do want to pay attention to, but as a long-term trader, your main focus should be scooping up as many fundamentally sound assets at low prices or in bear markets, right? So right now, if the stock market crashes, just like I did back in 2008, yes, I'm very old, but if the stock market crashes, you do want to pick up the Nikes and the Coca-Colas and the Apples and the Googles, because you can't go wrong when the market bounces back. Same thing in crypto. We don't really have anything as solid as obviously those Fortune 500 companies, but there are top 20 cryptos or top 30 cryptos that can be seen. Some of them can be seen as blue chip cryptos, right? Bitcoin obviously being the one, as it has been a store of value ever since the early years. Moving on to the hot topic of the day, or really of the month. Even people that aren't in the stock market, that don't have diversified funds into the stock market and are just heavily focused on crypto, have noticed this, right? It says more ridiculous than Bitcoin, pot stocks go parabolic as crypto markets cool. And yeah, man, if I was a millennial, I'd probably get a tattoo of this photo here, but thank God I'm not. If you're a millennial, don't. But if you do, I'll send you a Bitcoin. But yeah, so if you look at the main pot stocks, and if you're wondering, yes, pot is still federally illegal in the US, right? In some states it's legal, but federal law it's illegal. So you're asking, how can there be pot stocks on, the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange? Well, it's because all these companies are based in Canada. Tilray is based in Vancouver, Cronos is based in Toronto, and Canopy Growth Company is based in Smith Falls, Canada, I believe. So yeah, all these companies are based in Canada, but they are traded on the US stock exchanges. And what's crazy is that these are considered what we call low float stocks, meaning that there's a relatively low number of shares to be traded, and these companies themselves have relatively low market caps, yet we are seeing parabolic growth, right? And if you look here on TradingView, yes, you can access stocks on TradingView, you'll see that, for instance, on Canopy Growth Corporation, they have negative earnings throughout, right? So you have negative earnings here, minus 0.31 earnings per share, minus 0.4 earnings per share. So from a fundamental standpoint, this is all hype. And yes, I just want to show you, for those that aren't involved in the stock market, that hype is a factor in the stock market, just as it is in crypto. But crypto, as a whole, is a new pre-emerging market. So obviously we don't have established companies that have been around for hundreds of years in the same way that we do on the stock market. But there is still hype. This right here opened at $30, and we're now at 51. That's not even as parabolic as some of these other ones. This is Canopy Growth Corporation. But if you look at Tilray, so Tilray opened at $23. We reached a high of $300 a few days ago, or yesterday, I guess, and now we are at $175. These are crypto type growths, right? If you look at Cronos, when it hit the market at 17 cents, and we are now at $13.60, right? So these are like the, Bitcoins and EOSs of the stock market right now. Now there's quite a few opportunities on the stock market, and I haven't really talked much about stocks on this channel because we've been delving into crypto, but I've been receiving a lot of questions, especially about pot stocks. That's not a surprise. People that are involved in crypto are used to, I guess, the FOMOing, or their ears perk up when they hear something has rose parabolically. And so they want to know more about it. If you want to trade stocks and you don't know where to start, obviously Robinhood, everyone knows that mobile app. It's basically it's fee free, but there's only a select number of stocks that you can trade. Plus, there was that story that I made a video about earlier in the week that shows that Robinhood is actually selling your info. The platform that I like to use is Think or Swim from TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade is excellent. Their customer service is excellent, and they have a lot of options. Think or Swim also provides you with a familiar platform, right? Because it has tools just like TradingView, and it has been around for a long time. You can partake in trading foreign exchange options. You can short stocks. You can long. There's just so many things you can do on Think or Swim. Now, I'm not getting paid, or I'm not sponsored by Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade. That's just what I've been using for a long time. Here you'll see on Thinkorswim's page, you'll see trade equities, options, ETFs, futures, Forex, options on futures, and more. And this is in addition to, buying and selling regular stocks. So there are a lot of options on Thinkorswim. If you want to partake in a promotion, if you email me, I'll leave a link in the description for the contact form on my website. If you email me your name and your email, I can get you 300 free trades, your first 300 trades, which will be commission free. Or if you're already part of the Discord, you can just hit me up on there. Again, that's only if you want to get, expand your trading portfolio into stocks and options, etc. Think or Swim was BitMEX before there was a BitMEX. And the other thing I like about Thinkorswim, and I just, I re-downloaded it just so I can show you this, but you can pick between paper money and live trading, right? So the platform itself is the same if you want to play around with their testnet, right? What I did a long time ago, I practiced with paper money for the longest time before I ever traded any options. Those of you that are part of the Discord know the story, but yeah, so you can select paper money or live trading. Anyway, that is enough about stocks. If you want access to the trade alerts, I might actually open trade alerts for stocks if I get enough demand. I have gotten a ton of questions about the pot stocks, which I was really surprised about, and that's why I addressed it. But if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell. Join the Discord if you want to talk trade or get a hold of me. It's 100% free. Stay safe out there. Peace.